Okay, we're going to talk about correcting parallax discrepancies, which is a really fancy name for saying we're going to fix stuff that doesn't line up right. So if you've produced your video and you're watching it in either side by side or anaglyph or active or passive 3D modes, and there are certain clips in it that really hurt to watch, they're hard to watch, they give you eye strain, this is how you can go about fixing those. So I'm in Premiere CS4, and this was my first sample video. The parallax on this was pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and check it and show you a couple different things you can do. If I expand my right video channel, whichever one's on top, right or left, there's this yellow line in the clip right here. And if you mouse over it, you get a different mouse icon. So I'm going to click and drag this down lightly to around 50%. Now you can see this has given us a ghost image, so I can see one on top of the other, which means I can see how they're lining up. So with my right clip selected, I'm going to go to motion, and then I can move this left and right to correct. As you can see, it's pretty good. The things in the foreground are coming out, the things in the background are shooting into the screen. So the screen, the plane that the screen is on, let me put this back to 720, is right about where my, what would you say, the elbows are. So that's pretty good. It's about right where my shirt is. So the background goes back, the foreground comes forward. If I wanted my hands to shoot out of the screen more, I would move this so my body was more lined up, and that means my hands are going to come out at you from the screen. If I wanted the image to appear like a window, so the screen is something you're looking through and most everything is back in the screen, I'm going to fix it so that my hands are more lined up. Whatever lines up, that's the plane that the screen is going to be at. So I've created some bad parallax video just to show when it's going to go wrong. So let me drag in these left and right clips. So I'm going to sync these up real fast, and this I did with a remote control that's for the two identical cameras. You can see, I'm going to move this over one, how much closer of a fit that is than here. It's just a little bit closer of a fit, so I recommend using a remote to sync these things together. So I'm using plus and minus to zoom in and out. I'm going to press C to get my cut button, and I'll cut it after the sync claps that I did. So V will give me my regular mouse, and I will delete those. Drag these over. And now let's see what we've got. One thing I did that you can do, you can get away with it, but you just have to be careful, is a zoom. One method for lining things up is usually there's an icon through the viewfinder that says record or has the time code. I try to line that up. I try to line up the edges as close as I can when you're doing things zoomed in. You want to get as close to the same image on each camera as possible, obviously. So, as you can see, I've done something. Let's see, where is it? Okay, I put my hand in there. Now, at first, it's pretty good. If I toggle between left and right videos, and again, I'm just clicking this view icon on left and right. What I'm going to do is I'll leave right channel on, just like before, and drag this down. So you can see that's pretty close. If I really was having trouble viewing it, I could move the top layer over to line up my hand. The closer the better. That would be pretty good. But then I went ahead and nudged the camera, because this will happen if you're shooting stuff inevitably. And now we have this is really far away from each other. If I make opacity on the right channel 100% and toggle, you'll see that this is just going to be very difficult to look at. People aren't going to like what they're seeing. It's going to be confusing to the eye. So I'll make this layer 50%. And once again, I'll use this motion tab to, it looks like I need to go left in this point, left for this one. And it's way over there, so there. Now, the only thing about doing this is that if I kill the left channel, you'll notice this area is black, which means there's going to be no 3D. This little strip is going to be 2D, but you'll see that the hand is now going to be 3D. This isn't too distracting if the edges are 2D. I haven't had a lot of trouble with people, you know, having any eye strain just because the one edge is 2D. So that's how I fix horizontal parallax. Sometimes you'll get to a problem where it's still not looking good, and that could be, even if you use this to correct it, that could be vertical parallax. My only advice is use this sparingly, because horizontal parallax, people have eye strain and they don't like it, but they can kind of, if they have to, they can watch it. Vertical parallax is one of the most frustrating things to look at, so avoid messing with it unless it's actually there, because you could screw it up worse. But obviously if it is bad, go ahead and fix it. So one thing to always remember, something I've figured out, is you need to always bring up your top channel back to 100%, or you can finish a really long render and realize that one of your videos is only half opaque. Okay, that does it for this section, and thanks for watching.